Thinking of buying your first home and not sure how to stack up enough cash for that daunting down payment? In this video, I'm going to break down how you can start saving smart and make your dream home a reality sooner than you think. So the first thing is understanding the costs. So exactly how much money do you actually need? Knowing that is going to be important. So you want to be clear on the type of property that you want to buy in the location that you want to buy it as well. And when you understand that, then you'll be able to then work backwards and reverse engineer exactly the cost that will be attributed to that. So what deposit is it that you'll be putting towards the property? Is it a 5% deposit, a 10% deposit, a 15% deposit? Understanding that will then give you a good base of the costs and what you need to save up as well. There will also be additional fees that come with the property purchase. So solicitor fees that you might potentially need to pay to the mortgage broker, and then also valuation fees as well. When your selected lender actually goes out to actually value the property to ensure that you're buying it for the value that it's worth. So understanding these costs and having that breakdown will then give you a figure to then work towards. And then from here, we're able to then have an action plan. Now, the second thing is actually setting a budget towards your bills, setting a budget towards leisure, and then setting a budget towards other costs as well. So if you have family dependents, then of course you're going to need a budget to maintain the standard of living for everybody in your household. So this could be food and clothes as well, amongst other things. Now, once you have that budget, then you also want to have a savings target as well that you want to be hitting every single month. You'll be surprised actually when you start to track what's coming in to your account and what's going out of your account, how much you can actually make savings on. So have a savings target. Like, what is it actually you want to hit every single month? In an ideal world, what is the amount of money that you want to be saving every single month? And then having that and being clear on that will enable you to understand how long it will take you to get the money together, then purchase your first property. So that's the second point. It's really understanding what's coming in, what costs there are, start to analyze where you can cut costs as well, and then having that savings target every single month. The third thing would be to start putting your funds in a high interest account. So there are banks and other institutions, brokers, which will enable you to actually put your funds and you'll be able to then make additional capital on that. So it's worth looking at comparables and understanding what interest rates you can potentially get on the capital you put into the account. You'll want to see what institutions are out there, what financial institutions can give you the best return on that. And it may be that you want access to those funds at any point, right? So you actually put it into an account where it's flexible, right? So it's like a flexible cash ISA that you're able to use, as opposed to just putting it in a current account where the interest rate is going to be very low. So the fourth thing is actually increasing your income. So there's two main ways you can do this. So you can either look to gain a high income skill, or you can look to actually add side hustles onto your already existing income that you may have. Now, to gain a high income skill, you want to understand exactly what field that you might want to go into, and then assess what is needed, and then go out there and get the training to then warrant you to be able to do that job. So for example, if you now want to be a data scientist, then you're well placed to actually learn how to code. And this is going to include tools such as Python and SQL. So it's potentially worth your time to go out and actually learn how to code on those programs. Additionally, if you want to pick up a trade, then it's worth going out and finding the good courses to then be able to do the trade. If it's plumbing, electrician, whatever it is, find credited courses that you can do that can enable you to have the qualifications and certificates to then be able to apply for those type of roles. Additionally, side hustles. So you can look at potentially freelancing, putting money into stocks or bonds, and actually understanding the stock market. If you do have an additional skill set that you're not leveraging, then look to see if that's something that you can actually serve others. And that will enable you to have potentially more income than you already do, and then you can save a lot more as well. Number 5, now at this point, you should be aware of exactly where your money is coming in from and where the expenses are as well. And now it's time to actually cut on those major expenses. So a lot of us, including me, were guilty of probably spending money on things that we probably don't need to. It's actually understanding those areas. So it doesn't mean that you need to limit yourself in every single area. However, there's going to be certain areas where you can actually cut back. So it may be that you eat out quite a lot, or you might eat out twice a week. So instead of eating out twice a week, can you cut down to once a week? It may be that you like to go shopping every single week for clothes and luxury items. Can you do that perhaps once every 2 weeks, or even better for now, once every month? Seeing and really understanding where you're spending your money can then enable you to put the right habits in place to then cut back on spending. and you'll be surprised how far and high you can actually see your savings increase to. Another way you can get ahead as a first-time home buyer is to take advantage of government schemes and grants that are designed to make the process a lot more easier and affordable. So I'm going to highlight the top 3 most common schemes for first-time home buyers here in the UK. So number 1 is the First Homes Scheme. So this is a newer scheme brought on by the government, which enables first-time home buyers to actually buy properties at least a 30% discount. Now, there is criteria that have to be met. So in some councils, key workers are often prioritized and those are lower incomes as well. However, it's definitely worth assessing if that's an option that you can take, as it will enable you to get the property ladder for a significant discount than if you just bought that property at its market value. Now, the second is a lifetime ISA. So this is a no-brainer. So you can actually put savings into a lifetime ISA and the government will actually top you up 25%, up to £4,000 every single year that you put into those funds. So for every £4,000 you put in every single year, the government will actually give you £1,000 as well. And provided you use those funds to buy a property that is yours to keep. So it's an excellent way to boost your savings with minimal effort. And the third option is the shared ownership option. So this works well if you can't buy that whole property outright. So it enables you to have anywhere between 25 to 75% typically of the property, and then you pay rent on the remaining amount. Now with this option, in time, you can actually purchase that whole property. And this is a process called staircasing. So this is a great way to get into home ownership without needing a large deposit upfront. So those are the top 3 government schemes which can enable you to get on the property ladder a lot sooner than you otherwise would if you were just saving on your own. Now, there are other schemes as well. So if you do want me to create a video on these 3 schemes in more detail and other schemes too, then let me know in the comments below. So I hope this video has made it a bit more clear on how you can actually save up for your first property. So if you enjoyed this video, do give it a like. And if you found value from this video or any other video on this channel, then do subscribe as well. And until next time, happy investing.